wisdom, making practical application of what is learned.
My name's Josh Lucas. I've always had reptiles and amphibians in my life some way or another. Pretty much anything involving reptiles and amphibians fascinates me. Anything from their natural history to their morphology to reproduction, it all just blows my mind, and there's so many different ways that all of it can happen, and I love learning about all of it. Within my job specifically, as he wanders off, I really love these guys. They're pretty fascinating and incredible animals. Huge giants who live for hundreds of years. And as far as reptiles go, they're really smart and they have a lot of unique personalities, which most reptiles really don't. They just kind of react to things in their environment. So you kind of bond with them more than you would anything else, and that's really exciting.
Wisdom is taking the experience that you've gained, along with the knowledge and things that you know, putting them together to make great decisions for your organization.
Seeking to understand is a huge part of this job, and the awesome thing is there's a lot of opportunities to understand when you seek out the knowledge. There are many, many experts who work in this field and at this very zoo. So like within the reptile department, my area of expertise is the amphibians, but if I'm ever unsure of something regarding anything else, there are people around me who all I have to do is ask, and generally they know the information. If not, we all usually sit down and research it together. A huge part of our culture is seeking to understand the animals we care for, because that's a huge part of what keeps them thriving here.
There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is the facts. What do I know? Wisdom is actually living that out. What have I experienced? Once you've experienced something, you have a knowledge of what it's going to look like, what the outcome will be. So for us to make wise decisions, it's just not knowing the facts, it's actually living them out, believing them, and then executing them.
Asking for advice kind of falls into the same line of seeking to understand, and in that it's really easy and the environment here is very comfortable in which to do so. My direct supervisor, he's been working actually in this department almost 30 years. So most things I would need advice on, I can go to him. It's a very welcoming environment that encourages the asking and the learning of the advice.
Many of us have a hard time asking somebody else for advice. We think that that takes away our power, makes us vulnerable. But actually being humble and asking somebody for their advice shows them that you value their opinion, that you want to learn from them. I've always said a smart person learns from their own mistakes. A wise person learns from others' mistakes. And I've always wanted to be wise. Asking for advice gives you that wisdom, gives you that experience in which you can then make future decisions.
Applying what I learn is a huge part of what I do here. So not only learning from other people and learning things on paper of how to directly care for reptiles and amphibians, but it extends all the way to the conservation project that I started in Ecuador. So applying everything I've learned over the years and everything I've learned here as far as amphibian care goes, and taking it to South America and caring for the animals that we collected to ensure their long-term success, both in human care and their offspring in the wild.
I can be smart and know something and act upon it. But wisdom really takes what I've learned and applying that. It goes back to, am I going to take that experience and learn from it and do something different, or am I going to continue to make that same mistake? Being wise means that we take our experience, we learn from it, we move forward, and probably have to go into a different direction.
Remember these points. Seek understanding, ask for advice, and apply what you learn.